online diary. That's really what I do. It's just really documenting our daily lives for our own purpose. This is an example of that is Amalette.com. You know, if you read her site, you can tell it's really written for her. She might have tens of thousands of readers, but she's really writing stories about herself, for her kids, sort of a legacy sort of thing. Maybe because you want to share information. Maybe you know something about a topic and you want to share that information with somebody else. Bakerella.com is a great site for recipes and sort of ideas on how to put stuff together. There's To Tell a Story. New one that I just found today, You Are You. It is, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that site. It's pretty kind of out there. 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, born a boy, transgender. And sort of the mother's writing about the story about, you know, I gave birth to a little boy who wants to be a girl. Sort of writing the tale of how that comes about. So it's really just telling a story. It stays very on that story. She doesn't write a lot, you know, 3 or 4 times a week at the most. It's really when she's really actively writing. But she stays very close to, this is my story about this particular topic. You don't get any information about anything else in their lives. Another reason is just to have a voice. You know, Ravenstall did something that pissed you off and you want to scream about it. And you told 10 people, but it just doesn't feel like enough.
That's a crazy talk.
One thing he won't do is talk to you.
Too right. You have something to say and you just want to say it, and it's a way to say something publicly. You may not actually have anybody reading it, but you at least get that feeling of you got it out there, you got what you wanted to say out there. There's a lot of people who do it because they want the community. Blogger.com is a site that is a lot of mommy bloggers coming together, talking. There's a little bit of a drawback to doing it for the community. As wonderful as the online community is, and it is wonderful, there's some amazing things that can come from the online community, but there's also some negative things that can come from it. There's a lot of negative energy, especially mommy blogging. There's so much crap that they throw at each other. It's unbelievable how mean people can be to each other sometimes. So there's that negative energy in the community that if that's why you're doing it, you really need to think through, can I take it if somebody leaves me a horrible comment? If somebody says, you're a bad mother, go spend time with your kid, quit playing on the computer, is that going to hurt your feelings and make you feel bad for hours? Because maybe that's not why you want to blog then. It just might not be the right thing for you if you can't take that criticism. When I get hate emails, nowhere near as much as you do, but I get but you have to be okay with reading those and being able to file them away and say this isn't because this person generally thinks it, it's because they want to play this game or whatever. It's really never anything personal. I mean, I got 2 when I wrote something about, I was actually excited to see Christmas decorations early this year. It's got a new house and I'm kind of excited to actually put stuff out. I get 2 things I hate email over that. You know, don't feed the corporate monster. Don't encourage them to put that stuff out. Come on, what the hell? You know, you just have to be okay with getting those kind of emails, especially if you're in it for the community. Because there is a negative side to the community. It's definitely there. Some people do it just because they like the process of writing. They want to be better writers. I think that's probably my secondary reason. I want to work on my writing skills and do a better job of writing. And if you're doing it for that reason, it really is going to solve a lot of problems for you when you get down the road. We'll talk about that in a second. Some people do it to make money. There are definitely people who look at Deuce and say, wow, she's supporting a family of 4 with this site, and she only writes a couple of times a week, and she takes pictures, and I can do that. I can write better than her. I can take better pictures than her. I'm funnier than her. We'll come back to that in a second, too. And then there's people who do it for a combination of reasons, and that's fine. You don't have to say, I'm only doing it because I want to tell a story, and I have to stick to that. It's just, I think it's important to ask yourself, why am I blogging? Why do I want to do this? What am I trying to get out of it? And I want to give you a little example about what money. If you're doing it to make money, you might as well just stop now. The money's not there. Really, especially mommy blogging right now is being highlighted by the media. My friend Merck Coleman, who writes for Woulda Shoulda, she was on the Today Show probably about a year ago talking about, you know, how it's a business now. Mommy blogging has become a business. And she got quoted this one little tiny quote about how she's making more money now than she did in her office job before she was doing blogging. They didn't mention a few minor details about how she's making that money. She's literally writing for dozens of sites. It's not just woulda-shoulda.com. She's got whatnot.net and at least a dozen other sites that she writes for. Plus, she's a professional writer. She does ghostwriting and all these other things. So they made it sound like she's making all this money off of woulda-shoulda. She's not. She's not even making enough to make her car payment from it. And she she has probably 20 times the traffic I do at her site. Just to tell you, I have 20,000 hits per month, somewhere around there. I get about $100 a month in ad revenue. I run 4 ads right now. And 20,000 is not a huge number, but it's also not a little teeny tiny number either. And it doesn't happen for everybody. Some people are happy with 20 hits a day, and there's nothing wrong with 20 hits a day. That's actually pretty amazing. You've got 20 people who care about what you're writing about. That's amazing. So if you're in it for the money, just, it's not going to work out for you. The market's saturated. I'm going to come back to my question, why? Why you need to know why you're blogging is because it really solves all your problems as you're going through life. You'll hear people complain about, well, I need to write more, I should write more, I should blog more. But why? Why should you blog more? If you're doing it for documenting your own story, do you need to write more to document your own story? I write daily because I know I need to in order to make sure that I get it done. I'm a master procrastinator. It's what I do best. I procrastinate like nobody's business. Jen's dying laughing because she knows how true it is. So I have to set that daily deadline for myself because if I say I'll write when I have something to write, I'll have something and then like a week later it still won't be done. And then a week later it still won't be done and by then it's forgotten. So that's why I write daily. It's because I know I need to in order to achieve my overall goal. So the way it'll work. You'll ask yourself the question, is this appropriate? Should I have this on my site? Is this something I should talk about? Well, why are you blogging in the first place? If you can answer that question, you probably can answer, should I talk about this on my site? What content is appropriate? Should I be anonymous? I'm not, but I don't have our names on our site either. And that's just because when my daughter's 13, I don't want somebody to be able to Google her name and come up with a story about her when she was 2. That might not make her happy. That's the only reason our names aren't there, but it's not anonymous by any means. It's not, whatever, her name's Alexis, my name's Michelle, my husband's name's Wayne. Good luck with all that. That's not going to get you anything in life, and it's really not going to hurt anything, but it just out of fairness to her, her boyfriend shouldn't be able to Google her name and get a story about, something she did 10 years ago. It's not fair. Is a particular topic okay? Is a particular language okay? I don't cuss on mine. That's because when she's 13 and she's reading through this, I don't want her to be like, why aren't I allowed to say that? You use that word, why can't I? So, there's that little bit of, am I okay with her using this word when she's old enough to read this content? Okay, then I can use it. But there's some words that she's not allowed to say, no, I will punch her, so let's keep it off of there. Other people cuss, who cares? It's your site, you can do what you want. It's just, what's your overall goal, and is that appropriate or not? Should I include photos? I get asked a lot about whether it worries me that I have so many pictures of my kid online. It really doesn't. I come up on the first page of Google results for naked toddler photos. I'm fully aware that I do. But what it takes you to is a picture of her giving a doll a bath. And the doll isn't wearing any clothes because dolls don't wear clothes in my house. But, if I'm a creep and I'm Googling naked toddler photos, how disappointing is that? So I don't care. Google search your heart's content. Because the people that are looking for that kind of content, they're not looking on your personal site. That's not the best place to go to really hit the jackpot on what they're looking for. And they know where to go, and they don't care about my kid giving her doll bath. Big question, can I talk about people? Is it okay to talk about, my mother-in-law? Everybody knows she drives me crazy. She knows she drives me crazy. But I don't include that content on my blog because that's not fair to my daughter to give her preconceived notions about somebody. Let her make her own decisions. So I feel like, yeah, she buys her the ugliest clothes I've ever seen. I don't even know where she finds the stuff. But I'll let Alexis decide that I don't like this dress, I'm not wearing it. I don't need to tell her you shouldn't like this dress. Your grandma's crazy. She can do that on her own. And I've said that to her face. She's fully aware that she's crazy. Should I have ads? A lot of people go back and forth and they make this big philosophical debate about whether they should have ads on their site or not. Does it fit in with your why you're writing in the first place? Because nobody really cares if you do or not. I have ads solely, and the only thing that the money goes to is my daughter's savings account. I just figured, well, I'm writing every day. People are looking at it, what the hell? She can have a couple bucks. It's $100 a month goes into her savings account. It's nothing to me. It's not enough to live off of, but it'll mean something to her in 10 years. And that brings us to finding fodder. I think if you know your why,